Hi, welcome to Pagan Goddess Tarot, and tonight we are doing the November reading for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. I'm sorry the monthlies are out so late. It's just that, there's been a lot of things going on around here. I talked about construction problems, etc., that we've been having, and just bear with me, we're getting there. So, keep in mind this is a general collective reading, so take what's yours and leave what doesn't resonate with you. It's not uncommon for it to start resonating later. It is, after all, fortune telling, and sometimes the events that you would normally resonate with haven't happened yet. And when they start to happen, then you have that moment where you're like, oh, what did they say? You're more than welcome to go back to the channel and re-watch any videos that you'd like. And to be honest with you, the readings that you should be watching are your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Okay? And that being said, that's going to, and your, like I said, your Venus sign, that's going to give you a better picture of your overall energy. Okay? So from the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, I pulled Turtle Spirit, and it's telling you slow and steady wins the race. I'm laughing because somebody told me that earlier today, and it's such good advice. And it was like, what? What do you mean slow? Are you crazy? Well, yeah, you know what? That is exactly what I needed to hear. I needed a different approach. So, that's just... don't kill the messenger. So I'm going to take two from the Angels and Ancestors. I'm a Sagittarius, by the way. The Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Alright, so we have the Traveler. And it's telling you to move in a new direction. Okay? Move in a new direction. It's uncanny. That was part of my advice earlier. Protection Guardian. It's telling you to drop your shields. Here we go. Drop your shields. Okay, let's see if I can, oops, put these in a little better where you can see them. They're such beautiful cards. I'm so blessed to have those. So, I'm going to do a 5-position spread. It's past, present, future. Advice from Spirit, and the most probable outcome if you follow Spirit's advice. Okay? So, in the past, you had a tower moment. This was a lightning strike, came out of nowhere, knocked your foundation for a loop. Good, bad, indifferent. Keep in mind, everybody's terrified of tower cards. First of all, this one is in the past. It has already happened. Okay? You probably already know what I'm talking about, what it means to you. I know what it means to me. But what it did was it tore down the faulty tower. The tower wasn't it wasn't firm. It didn't have a firm foundation. There was no way it was going to stand. It was going to crumble sooner or later, and the lightning strike took it away. This can be good or bad. What it is, this card is, how do I want to explain this? It's an extreme change in energy. I don't even know how to speak at this moment. I'm getting overwhelmed. But it can be good or bad. Okay, so the tower crumbled, but, if you were in an abusive relationship, it needed to crumble. You needed to be out of it. It didn't seem like it at the moment. The other thing with this is it can be a very good thing. You win a lottery. You win millions of dollars. Okay? Well, that can have its own inherent problems with it, but, it is a good thing as far as financial is and blah, blah, blah. But it's still a tower moment. It's an intense change in energy. Okay? So whatever this was, it happened in your past. Okay? And so you're trying to rebuild, and that makes sense. If you're going to win this race, slow and steady would be the way you want to go. You need to move in a new direction now. And dropping your shields, that's the hard part. Once you have a tower moment, it's sometimes difficult to trust. Okay? Especially if you're a Sagittarius. You'd be like, no, I got my shield, thank you. I don't think so. Trust me on that one. Okay? But the King of Swords, he's been popping up all over the place. This guy has clarity. He is looking things from a higher perspective. And I think that's where you're at right now. You need to use your logic. You need to understand it's a clear day. The storm's over. It's a clear day. He's sitting on a firm tower and he's looking out and he can see things clearly. Okay? And he doesn't use emotions. He uses logic, okay, to look around. So he gets a lot of perspective, and he's been through a lot. So he has a lot higher perspective because of that. It's a lot of wisdom as well. Sorry. I just got home from work on Thursday. So, I'm sorry, that might have been too much information, but it's true. So he really has very, very clear perception. And he's using logic instead of emotion. And this is giving him the perspective to see. And when I say him, you can be female and be harnessing the energy of this king. Remember, the cards are gender neutral. You know, it's whatever you apply to them. You can be a female. I appear as the Emperor quite frequently in readings. Okay? So the point is, you go from the storm, you're coming out of the storm, now you can see everything clearly. Okay? And it'll give you the perspective you need to move in a new direction and drop your shields and trust in spirit. Okay? And you don't have to race towards it. This isn't, your tower crumbles and you think you're building a mansion in 2 days. That's not going to happen. I mean, you may buy one, but you're not, you're not building one that quickly, or that's going to crumble for sure. All right. So what you're doing is you're moving into a new cycle. And that's a good thing. I mean, you obviously learned lessons. You've obviously gone through a transformation. And dropping your shields is going to allow you to move into the new cycle. Okay. And again, where there's a new beginning, there's an ending. It like almost always balances out. And if it's not like very clear, like end, beginning, then in a reading, but it balances out. I mean, because it's like unmistakably implied in the reading itself. So you have it by your advice from spirit is communication. You have a lot of communication coming in. It's coming in quickly, and you need to assimilate this information. Some of it's very healing information. There may be 8 or more messages, or up to 8 messages. Okay, this is very fast moving energy. So I think it's telling you to move in a new direction and be open. And it may be just being open, dropping your shields, being open to this communication. How you choose to apply the knowledge is, what direction you want to go in. Okay? So, you have the Lover's card at the bottom. So, you may be finding the love of your life. You may be going, You could go to Lowe's and find the love of your life. I mean, when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I mean, you know, the shopping cart thing, I'm sure that's happened on numerous occasions. But this is usually a high spiritual love. And that may be why the tower fell. Because what you were in was not good for you. It wasn't where you were supposed to be. It wasn't for your spiritual growth and for your growth and happiness. Okay? And at the bottom of the deck, we have you mastering something. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the Wizard Tarot, and I'm going to clarify these and see where we're going with this. This is it's a beautiful reading. Okay, so Seven of Pentacles. I'm going to pull both of them for that one because, you know, the Tower card's so drastic. Okay. All right. And you were holding on to something. I think that you were holding on to something that wasn't serving you and needed to be cut away because you were actually nurturing something else. And that something else could have been, you know, when we say things like that, you know, if you were in a long-term relationship and you broke up with somebody, it might not have been that you were nurturing another relationship. It could have been that I always wanted to, I don't know, I always wanted to live on a farm. I always wanted to have a farm. Okay? Well, you know, it's not that you ran off with the farmer. It's that you were holding on to a situation. Maybe you lived in the city and all you had was a few pots on your patio and you really wanted a farm. And when that, let's say, relationship didn't work out, I'm like just throwing this out here. Like, if that relationship didn't work out, you know, you're still nurturing that dream of being a farmer, okay, or whatever, you know, or having a place in the country. And, you know, this, by breaking that up, what enabled you not necessarily to move on, you know, it gave you, well, wait a minute. Now I might be able to do that. That could be one of my options. It's something I've always been nurturing. Okay? And then you start seeing things from a clearer perspective. Like I said, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay? So by the time you get here, if you've been through a tower moment, you know you felt left out in the cold. You know, but that's the thing. You're feeling. And when you're going through something like this, sometimes it's better for you to, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't explore your feelings, heal your feelings, feel the feelings. But I'm saying when you're making decisions for yourself, you need to be making clear decisions for yourself. They say that, you know, there are so many people that have been married, let's say, for years and years and years. They say that a widow or a widower or whatever, they are not making rational decisions even up to 3 or 4 years later. And the reason is because it's an emotion. It's a horribly terrible, devastating feeling. Trust me on that. It's just devastating, and you do feel left out in the cold, and you're just rocked. And it's so easy for people to take advantage. And that is why we have, you know, lawyers supposedly looking out for your best interests, okay? Because they can think clearly, logically, analytically, and legally, okay? So, you know, it's not uncommon to feel left out in the cold when you go through a tower moment, okay? So sometimes it's best to use your logic instead of your emotions to make your decisions, so you don't make rash decisions. But that little niggling thing that's been nurturing, you know, it could be somebody that you want to offer a cup of love to, or it could be somebody coming in to offer you a cup of love. It could be somebody that's been sitting there waiting for you to be free forever. Okay? But this is definitely a new cycle opening up. And again, we have the King of Swords. So they're very adamant about you using logic as you proceed forward. Okay? And it's also, they also want you to rest and basically recuperate. Rest and retreat. You need time to process. You need time to think. You need time to yourself. You need time to figure out what is your true wish fulfillment. What is it you really want? Okay? And then once you can figure that out, that wish, the star, the light from the star is the wish, will illuminate your path. It'll help you on your path. It'll guide you. Okay? And Spirit's advice is to listen to the messages that are coming into you. But use logic to make your decisions, because you have the ability to hit the Ten of Pentacles. That's the ultimate love card. That's love and abundance. It's multi-generational. Okay? And again, listen to that communication coming in. And some of it is healing. Okay? And if you can do that, you may just find the perfect love. And don't be surprised if it's doesn't come in attached to something that is a small offering business. It could be, I don't know, trying to find something. Okay, my brother used to paint. My brother was a phenomenal painter, and I was a very good painter. We're talking about house painting. He did industrial and whatever. Anyways, but the point was, a friend of his asked him to come help him paint his house. Okay, they were good friends. And so I went with them, and I pitched in, and, barbecues ensued and whatnot. And, I'm not going to say who, but one of them found the person, they met that person, they met that person. And that was the love of their life. And, that was almost 30 years ago, and those two people are still together. And again, these are the lovers. It's the lovers. So don't be surprised if it's attached to something like a small offering business, and then it doesn't necessarily have to do anything with the offer. It's just maybe you run into the love of your life there. Okay? But whatever this is, you're going to master it. It's showing you mastering it. Okay? Keep in mind you have a lot of options, and that's again why they want you to be rested and using logic. Okay? Because the passion will come. Once you decide what option you're going for, the passion will come. Okay? The creativity, the passion, the excitement, okay, that will come. And this will also build a firm foundation for your future. So I'm going to pull a couple Archangel cards, and we'll go from there. Let's see what the angels have to say. Gentleness, Archangel Sandalphon, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Okay, and the second one is life review, which is basically what I'm talking about here. Is Archangel Jeremiah. Take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. Okay. And courage. Archangel Ariel, be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So, I think you went through a rough time. Basically, you went through a very rough time. And it's time for you to change directions, and it's time for you to learn to drop your shields and let people in. It doesn't mean you just let everybody in. Okay, now if you know this person over here is not good for you, obviously, but it's slow and steady. This is gonna be slow and steady. It's gonna be slow and steady progress. I mean, you may have bursts of speed, and as Sagittarius, as we are used to speed, hitting it on the run, and being able to maneuver and make decisions in a snap second. Yeah, that's not what we're supposed to do here. We're going to go turtle speed. And choose wisely. You got a lot of logic cards here telling you to choose wisely. And they're going to guide you through it, but it's going to build a firm foundation. And I mean, this is going to be a beautiful venture. If nothing else, it's going to be a beautiful journey. So have courage and do that life review and move forward. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.